Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey, welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. This is the Bible Bistro, the home base for the Fresh Revolution. This is fresh, 100% Bible study, made fresh every day, just for you. So, today we're looking at Psalm 66, 5 through 7. Yeah, we stopped yesterday with the Selah that comes after verse 4. Beautiful portion there, verses 1 through 4. Today, we're going to come to verses 5 through 7. This is all about God, and it begins with an invitation. And while we're thinking about an invitation, let me invite you to click on over to my-dailydose.com. That's the website where you and I can meet together, and all kinds of fun stuff on the website there. Or you can find Daily Dose on any of your social media platforms. We just added TuneIn not too long ago. We were also found on Stitcher and SoundCloud, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and a bevy of others, Tumblr, and a whole bunch of other ones. Look for us. If you got a minute, click on the Facebook page, like our Facebook page. That'd make me real happy if you'd do that. Let me read for you verses 5, 6, and 7. Come and see the works of God. He is terrible in his doings toward the children of men. He turned the sea into dry land. They went through the flood on foot. There did we rejoice in him. He ruleth by his power forever. His eyes behold the nations. Let not the rebellious exalt themselves. Selah. All right, so you see the invitation starts right off. Come and see. Now, we've had invitations in other psalms, but here we have it directed toward the reader. Come and see the works of God. And then he's going to take us by the hand and lead us so that we can see the terrible things he is doing. Go back up to verse 3. Say unto God, how terrible art thou in thy works. Now he invites us, come and see the works of God. He is terrible in his doing toward the children of men. Now that word terrible, it doesn't mean it's bad. You know, usually when we use that word terrible, we say, well, that's a terrible hamburger, or that's a terrible drink, or that's a terrible thing that happened to those poor people. No, that's not the way he's using this. This word terrible translates the word for fearful, and it means the greatness of God. Come and see. He is great or overwhelming. It's like Job standing before the whirlwind. God said, where were you when I made the heavens? Where were you when I made Leviathan? And so basically God just clears the deck. The Lord clears the deck of all others. He alone is God. And so Job just stands there in awe of his terribleness, his fearfulness, his greatness, his majesty. He is and can only be expressed in the word God. And then you notice the rest of this passage down to the Selah. He turned the sea into dry land. They went through on the flood on foot. There we did rejoice in him. He rules by his power forever. His eyes behold the nations. Let not the rebellious exalt themselves. So God's terrible works are described. And where does he go for terrible works? Fearful works of God? He goes back to the deliverance story in Exodus. And he says, look at what happened when he turned the dry sea, and when he turned the sea into dry land. So he turns the sea into dry land. The people go through the flood on foot. And then what does he do? He turns it back around again. And the waters flood back into that space. But he did that for his people. That's a terrible work. And everyone who saw it knew this can only happen by the hand of God. He ruleth by his power forever. His eyes behold the nations. So not only does he work terrible things in the earth, but he sits in the heavens and he watches. And then we have this advice here at the end. Let not the rebellious exalt themselves. That's good advice for the nations. It's good advice for us as individuals. Don't be rebellious. Don't exalt yourself above that which you are. Join me again tomorrow. We'll look at verses 8 through 11 on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.